What licenses are needed to start a food truck in Missouri? And how much is a food license in Missouri? So in this video from Food Truck Freaks, we are actually going to dive into starting a food truck business in the state of Missouri. I'm going to run down some of the permits and some of the inspections and things you may expect for you to get your food truck business up and running. We're going to dive into that right now. All right, guys, so welcome back to Food Truck Freaks. It is Damien Roberti, founder and CEO of Food Truck Freaks. We're actually going to get into a question that I had from one of our subscribers in regards to starting a food truck business in the state of Missouri. So I'm actually going to run down some really useful information, and also check out the links, guys, down below our videos to our website. We have a ton of food truck information, absolutely free, of course, to help you get up and running with your food truck business. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification, because we have a ton of other useful videos on how to market food trucks, how to get food truck wraps, food truck insurance, and everything else that you could possibly think of. And we're building up our brand new channel here. Check out Marketing Food Online, which is our big channel. We have over 100,000 subscribers on that food entrepreneur channel too as well. It has a lot of great food truck resources. So let's dive into it. So if you're wanting to start a food truck business in the state of Missouri, a couple of things that you need to understand that you have to get is the following. So to do business in the St. Louis city, Missouri, you're going to need to get some additional permits and such from the city itself in regards to what's known as the vending business license. You need to obtain that from the St. Louis License Collector's Office, which is actually where they collect the fees for those business licenses and vending. You also need to obtain a fire safety certification. Now, this is from the building division of what's known as the fire safety unit. It goes by different names in different states. So in St. Louis, specifically in Missouri, that one's going by fire safety unit. And that's also something that needs to be renewed every year. So do ensure that you get that every year. You have to renew that to keep that. So next up, you're going to need to also get an additional So basically, any individual that's looking to start a food truck business, applying for a mobile vendor permit as it's known, you must contact the department known as the street department to begin your actual application process. So in order to do that, you're gonna need the following things. You need a completed motorized food truck vending permit application. That is something you need to fill out as well. We'll have some links down below to the Missouri website for that. Number two, you're gonna need a copy of the City of St. Louis vending and business licenses. So of course you need to have a business license like any other type of business that you're going to operate, especially a food truck business. Number three, you got to have a copy of the City of St. Louis's Health Department permit. So you will need, of course, the Health Department to inspect your truck, and you need to pass that actual inspection, by the way. You don't just get the inspection whether you pass or fail, but you need to pass it in order to get the permit issued to you. So do ensure that you get the list of requirements and follow it to a T. Number four, you got to get a copy of the St. Louis Building Division's registration liability insurance. So basically, this is just a certification of insurance that will indemnify and hold harmless the City of St. Louis while you're operating your business. Of course, they are not responsible for your business and how you handle it, so you need to make sure that you get that as well. Now, you do need to have food truck insurance, obviously. Number five is proof of that vehicle insurance for your food truck. Now, that may fluctuate depending on the type of policy that you're going to get. If you've got employees, obviously you'll have workers' compensation. You need to have insurance on the vehicle for theft and damage and such, product liability insurance. So I'm not necessarily, of course, an insurance agent, so I'm not going to sell you a policy or explain to you the type of policy you need. Everything will be dependent upon what exactly the type of insurance coverages you choose for your food truck. Now, they do have specific minimums on it that you definitely need to make sure you get at least the minimum, but you can go above and beyond that and make sure that you have the right type of insurance for it, okay? Now, you also have to have number six, proof of vehicle license and registration. So the vehicle itself, of course, you need to get a license and make sure you register it. And I believe it's going to be registered as a commercial vehicle, if I'm not mistaken. Most states will require food trucks to actually be licensed and registered as commercial vehicles, not just a standard vehicle. Number seven, a photo of the motorized food truck itself. So you do need to submit, so the city will have on hand a photo of the actual food truck itself. So keep that in mind also. Number eight, you got to have a full face photograph of the applicant and any employees. So the city wants to know, they want to basically have your face, your image on file so they know who is the owner of the vehicle. And if you have employees, they have to also get their photo taken as well, so they've got that on file. That's kind of a unique thing with Missouri, the state of Missouri, in regards to food truck businesses, is not every state actually does the full face photograph or have to have some separate images of the owners. Not everybody does that, but of course Missouri can do what they obviously want to do in their own state. Number 9, you need a signed copy of the rules and regulations as well. Number 10, a payment of $500 annual. Now, this is the annual City of St. Louis renewal for your business as far as the payment it goes for you to have the food truck operating legally. Now, it does say that you can actually do it quarterly, and I believe it comes out, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's around $125 or so quarterly for that. You can pay also any type of way you wish, but you got to make it payable to the City of St. Louis. Now, what can you expect? So the next thing up is that you will obtain a permit to operate a food truck in the city after you provide proof of vending business licensing. You got to have your current health inspection and of course show that your fire safety certification is new and accurate and up to date. That's from the building division, and then submitted the application to the street division, and then you'll be good to go. Now, a few other things you need to basically be aware of is that you need to have these. Number 1, you need to also check into an EIN. This is an employer identification number. That's actually got something you get from the IRS website, but you need to have an EIN. That is something that's mandatory as far as tax purposes and things go. You definitely need to get one of those. As we mentioned, you need to have the business license. You got to have the accurate driver's license as well. Now, something to think about too when it comes to the driver's license, make sure that any employee who plans to drive your vehicle has a approved license to drive the vehicle as well. And it's not something that is outdated or not up to date or it's not accurate. If somebody that's driving your vehicle is not you and they get into an accident or they happen to crash or wreck the food truck, whatever it may be, that's going to be a big problem for you, the food truck owner. So if you have employees that you are counting on to pick up the truck and maybe meet you at an event or something, make sure that their driver's license are accurate and up to date. Next up is the seller's permit. So if you are obviously buying a food truck, you're going to be purchasing ingredients, right? You're going to be purchasing from either day to day or week to week, fresh ingredients, meats, all kinds of items that you're going to bring together as a final product. But make sure you get a seller's permit so you're not being charged tax. If there is food tax for it, food sales tax, you don't want to be charged for that when you buy it, because you will collect it at the end when you transact with the customer. You don't want to get taxed 2 times. That's actually the benefit of the seller's permit, by the way. So make sure that you get one of those. And also, there may be the city requirements may also follow a food handler's permit. This is a food safety certification course, which most food trucks within all states actually require either themselves as an owner or an employee has to have a food handler's course and pass it, of course. But food handlers courses and certifications are fantastic because they're really good to educate people on handling food, storing food, sanitizing your truck, and everything else that you need to know on properly handling food. Okay? So the other thing you want to think about too is your brand. Really important, but something that's overlooked. If you have a brand or a logo and your food truck is not trademarked, you need to make sure you apply for a trademark. You need to make sure you protect that image, that idea. And that is something that you need to do early on because it can take 6 to 8 months for you to actually get a trademark denied or approved through the USPTO office, the Patent and Trademark Office in DC. You want to make sure that that is something you apply for early on. So if you have someone create an amazing logo and maybe now down the road you want to create merch, you want to have merchandise that you want to sell, but that logo is not trademarked and somebody takes it, well, there could be some legal issues. Or if you created a logo that's very close or similar to one that's in existence, you could potentially get sued if you don't have a trademark. So apply for that trademark for your brand because that is a big, important part of your business too. So if you're looking to create a food truck business in the state of Missouri, that is a really quick rundown of what you can expect as far as fees and what you need for permitting and licensing, as well as some additional tax issues and IRS issues you may pop up as well. So if this was very helpful, definitely give us a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on our next video. Check out these videos here for additional resources for the food truck industry and food truck business. Like I said, we're going to have a ton of information about marketing and other business aspects, food truck wraps, food truck insurance. And if you have friends that can benefit from our channel, definitely let them know. We appreciate that. I'll see you guys in our next video.